आचार्योभ्यो नमो नमः। नारायण परिपूर्ण गुणार्णवाय विश्वोदय स्थितितोलय नियति प्रताय ज्ञान प्रताय विबुधा सुर सौख्य दुःख सत्कारणाय विददाय नमो नमस्ते यो विप्रलिम्ब विपरीतमति प्रबोधान् वादान् निरस्य कृतवान् भुविदत्ववादं सर्वेश्वरो हरिरीति प्रतिपातकं तम् आनन्दतीर्थमुनिवर्यं नमामि। पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनुवे सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहैः तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Welcome friends, we are immediately after the commencement of the Vinayaka Chaturthi, Ganesh Chaturthi. I think this is the Parva, I think till Ananta Chaturdashi, the 9th of September. This will be the period in which the Ganesha will be sort of giving the entire blessings and vibrations to the entire world. This is all the more important coming to this Upanishad as well. So whenever we initially, the first thing we do for any puja or any of the commencement, we just pray to Ganesha and then we do it. It is irrespective of whatever stream of philosophy you come from or whatever thing you do it and all, because it is a sort of boon given to him. Not only that, he is a Swarupa of Pranava, which we have seen in Mandukya Upanishad also. He has got his Pranavatva by working on, meditating on the Vaishvanara, as well as Tejasa. By doing all the things, he has got the Pranavatva. He is the embodiment of entire Om. When you say Om, the Om is being denoted by the mystic syllable Om, and the representation of Pranava is by the Ganapati only, Ganesha only. In fact, even when we do the puja in our sampradaya also, the first thing we say is it is from Ganesha Suktam. In fact, we will be meditating on the Ganesha Suktam immediately after this. In the Ganesha Suktam, in Rigveda, it has got two versions. One is in Rigveda and one is in Yajurveda. This week, we will be seeing the Rigveda version. It is original and it is time immemorial, because it's being recited, it has got a particular intonation to recite. In that, the 10th sukta of this Ganesha Suktam, which normally we recite before we commencing our puja. Nishusita Ganapate Ganeshutvam Ahuhu. Nishusita Ganapate Ganeshutvam Ahuhu. You are everything. What I am doing is I am just getting it done by you. Tvam Ahuhu. When I am doing the puja, when you are doing puja, you may be doing everything, Padyam, Argyam and all. But he is getting it done by. So here Ganapati, in the sense, he is Adipati of the Ganas. So when the Adipati of the Gana etymologically you go through, you can just refer to the Brahman, whatever Brahman you, Nirguna Brahman or Saguna Brahman, any Brahman you can refer it to. That is how the Ganesha is representing the Pranava. Adipati of Gana, he has got all the powers. So we request him, you come in and you get it done by me. And he has to enable your fingers to take the argyam, padyam, everything, naivedyam, and even you are offering the flowers, pushpam, everything, he has to enable you. Supposing if at halfway through, you got a pain in the hand, if you can't do it, you can't do it. So to have nirvignam and to enable you to do, you pray to him. Nishusita Ganapati Ganesha Tvam Mahuhu Vipratam Kavina. Vipratamam Kavina. You are in the Vipra in the sense the highly learned Pandits, Brahmins. Normally Brahmins are called as Vipra. Vipra in this sense is highest knowledge next to Brahman. Whoever has got the Brahma Vidya, he is the one highest. Vipratamam Kavinam. Kavinam is the sense, he is the Kavi in the sense it is the highest knowledge holder in this entire world, entire universe, entire cosmos. He is the one. Vipratam Kavinam. Narate tvat kriyate kinchanare maham margam chitramarcha. Because you will have to, you come in and you enable me to do that, you get it done by me. I am nobody. I am just a medium. I am an instrument through which I am getting it done. So that is how we pray to the Ganesha. Therefore, he is required. The Ganesha etymologically represents the Adipati of Gana. It is the Brahman himself. So when we are doing Ganesha Puja, it is not only, you are going for, all these modakas and all these things they are offering, and as well as the festivals every corner and all. One of the reasons why Gokhale brought it to this one is this will enable people to focus at least this time, away from all other sordid affairs, which is taking place in our life. You can come back to the entire stream which is folding you in your life. This is what exactly this particular enables, and we will also see this particular mantra Nishushita Ganapati Ganeshutam Mahu. In the meditation also you will be hearing this. When you are hearing, you can give a particular attention to that, because this is has to be recited before or during the puja, so that you are able to get the puja accordingly. Because there is a vidhi vidanas are there, sampradayas are there. You may do everything because there may be order, this order, that order. Doesn't matter at all. Finally, when you are doing, you will have to get into the Paramatman inside, the Adipati of Brahman inside. He enables you to do that. How it is going to do that, we will see. In fact, this is how, the entire, this Kathopanishad, that when it gets this last 2 or 3 discussions, which we have taken place between Yama and Nachiketa, we are in the last 2 mantras of Valli. We will also see how we are, this concept has been enshrined every time, one again and again, not only in this Upanishad, but also in other scriptures. You will also referring to other scriptures other than Bhagavad Gita also. Of course, Bhagavad Gita has given whole lot of, the chapter after chapter, it is giving you, it is taking you, because when you come to the 11th chapter, it is preparing you slowly towards the highest, because that is how, it takes you stage by stage. Because, it is like from class 1 to it is class 11. When you go from chapter 1 to chapter 18, if you have really absorbed the contents of the Gita, you will find a slow change in coming into us. The very purpose of the Upanishad, why we are taking it up with a lot of practical example is, it should not be remain as a concept in the paper or the parchment. It has to be imbibed by us in our everyday life, has to be adopted, because so that we are able to bring a change. So by bringing the change, what you are telling, because it's not that, giving up everything. See, let us first have to get one concept clear. The Upanishad doesn't say you give up everything, no desires, nothing and all. It says you have a desire, but then don't go for, what the consequences of the desire is going to happen to you. You will have a desire. When you are a human being, you will have thoughts. We have been repeatedly telling, in all our Upanishads, none of the Upanishads, either Isavasya Upanishad or Keno Upanishadam or Talavakara Upanishadam or Mandukya Upanishadam, they have all been telling, because you will have 3 stages, you will have to live in this life. Because Jagrata Sthana and Swapna Sthana and Sushupta Sthana, all the 3 sthanas will be there. You will have to live through. In all these things, without desire, you cannot be living in the world, when you are awake. And when you can't dream unless you have a goal. What type of a goal you will have, because you will have a goal based on the desire. But basically what you happen is, you refine your desire in such a way, it takes you to the highest level of the goal. The noblest goal, which is suited for you. Because if you are trying to, because it is like, small desires, having small things, you go to the temple and pray for, for a small thing, I will have to get a lottery, or, because my small, I will have to build the first floor of my house. These are all the very small thing. It will happen even without anything once you apply your thought without any of the distractions. One of the first Upanishad mantra, before we go into this per se, we will talk, because in Isavasya Upanishad, Shukla Yajurveda, the Santipata is Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vasishyate. Purnam is the, what we call the primordial power, or Brahman. He is a Purnam. Purnam in the sense, he has got the knowledge and he knows everything what is happening in this world. He is there to guide you. He is there to guide you. He is inside each one of us. Guhyam, he is there in our heart of hearts. He is trying to tell us everything and all. But at the same time, what you are experiencing is through your eyes, your ears. You are hearing through your ears. You are seeing through your eyes. That is the first point of contact. Then you hear about that, then you assimilate and you bring it into your mind. You try to discriminate. Sometimes you are not able to discriminate. You develop, the wisdom to discriminate. That is intellect, buddhi, what we call it. Chitta, mana, buddhi, ahankara. We say the 4 parts of the entire chitta, what is there. Finally, that buddhi is the one who is enabled to discriminate and all. Ahankara comes, because it is just identifying yourself. Whatever happens to you, because I am getting, I got this degree, I got this job, I got married. When we say I, me, everything and all, we come to, because this is attached to the soul. That is how you experience the world. When you are experiencing the world, when you are slowly, what happens is prapanchopasamam, what we have seen, it is taking you out into the world. It is showing you everything available to the world. It's not that you should not go. You should go and learn and experience everything and all. But having experienced that, you should not go. Once you get into the experience, you go on finding out, comparing your experience with someone's experience. You are trying to find out the reason for someone's, the well-being, because you are trying to impose your inexperience onto his experience. You don't know what his experience is. See, you may be knowing Rakesh Junjunwala, he has got 50,000 crores, but you do not know how many, he has been sent out of his house because he has profligated, whatever was given to him, he couldn't do it and all. He has seen experiences. He has come up, he has come, and finally he couldn't, because basically he couldn't look after his wealth. In one of his Twitter, he has said, the most important wealth we have to look after is our health. That's what he has, I think, few years because it's sort of a hindsight, he has sent that. That's how he has seen that. So when you go for the experience, when you go and assimilating, what happens is what you are learning and going about it, you don't go by someone's experience. You don't go by someone's sort of a success or failure and all. You go by your own. You see, how best you are mooted in the position you are in. What are all your strengths, weaknesses, as well as threats? You will have to see everything. The SWOT analysis, you will have to get opportunities and threat. When we do it, then we do it. Because what happens is very often the people find, Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachate, in the sense. We are all, we have got a different type of a dimension, elevation. Because I may be elevated, I may not be elevated because some Mahans will be elevated. You might be elevated much better than me and all. Because your idea of having the experience, assimilating and finding out the ability to discriminate may be much more than what I am. So that what we are trying to do this through this Upanishad, constantly try to evolve, get the idea, finally to get the ability to discriminate and find out what is that, what you are seeing is not what is really the thing. That's why Keneshitam Patati Preshitam Manaha, the very first mantra of Kenopanishad said, what you are seeing is not that. What makes you to see? There is a power working on. There only we are telling Nishushi the Ganapate Ganeshutvam Mahuhu. You come and make it to me because I don't have the ability to discriminate. I'm developing it. You come and have it done by me. Because it's very, what happens, very often, when the desires takes us, one desire after all, because we are all enamored of everything. We want to experience something new is there. We want to experience. We have not gone abroad. We want to go abroad. We want to study somewhere and we want to get a good job and we want to get, something much better than what we are having. These are all the desires that comes about. But the moment you go and see what is it, and once you are able to see, it is not the same thing as you have imagined. So when you go into this, because people may be thinking, he is a secretary in the government, he is in a very good position. His trials and tribulation, he only knows. Day on and day off, how he has to face the thing, how he has to navigate, through the entire sort of Byzantine, that entire route that goes through, dealing with the bureaucrats and dealing with the politicians and dealing with the external agencies and trying to be happy with his family also, because most of the time he's not available. There is an imbalance all through. That is why even though we are having, God is giving us all the opportunities, we are not having our Purnamadaha. We find something lacking. Purnamadaha, to our ability, when we don't find anything lacking in us. So when there is no lack, it is a Purnamadaha. So when there is no lack, what happens? When there is no lack, it is the happiness. Happiness is the quotient. Happiness is, because at any point of time, you do not find, that you are lacking something. That is what we will have to achieve by going through the Upanishad. It is not that you give up that, you give up this and all. It's not that, because if you are in a 5-bedroom flat and you need it, because your parents are there and you have it. It's not that, you give up and go to a 1-bedroom flat and all. That doesn't mean. You have to have, because even yoga, when you do, what we do is Tirasukam Asanam. You should be comfortable to do your things, whatever you are doing it and all, to the best of your ability. That is the duty. It is not that, brahmacharyam in the sense for grihastha to be a regulated life within the family framework. Unfortunately, even that doesn't work nowadays. So people, because after a year or two, because they get disenchanted, they start, all the proceedings, we find that and all, because it is, because you are not able to think, even for a minute, you are not able to take it for yourself. See, if our health is not okay, we can go to a gym. And in fact, in my place, recently a gym has come. He has got Monsters Academy, he says. He will make you into a monster. But what happens, the desires, once you go after that, you become a monster. Because you are not able to regulate, you are not able to control with so many things. What do you want? What do you want to achieve? You don't have any direction. You are lost in the maze. That is so when you to bring it back only, because all these things, when meditation comes, meditation need not necessarily be in a day. You have to take an hour or 15 minutes and do it and all. Everyday life, every moment can be a meditation as long as you focus on what you are doing. What is that you are going to do to the best of your excellence? What is excellence? To do anything without attendant inferiority. If you are able to do anything, everything, you do it. But when you do half-heartedly, when you do, yes, because anyway I have to do, let me do it. When you are not able to give the best, that happens. It is for your own benefit also, because it is your own thing. You don't have to do it for anyone at all. Once you concentrate that you will not find the lack. The more you develop, sort of an attitude that you don't have any lack, maybe that, you can always, every morning, when you get up, you say, Kurayondrum Illai, there is a famous song by the Rajaji, Kurayondrum Illai, why he said there is no lack. You have given me everything. What is that I don't have? But once you have that, that is the source and seed for happiness. So that's why what Acharya used to say, jokingly, Anubhavananda used to say, you should read the 19th chapter of Gita, that is happiness quotient is there. Because there is no 19th chapter. Because after reading all the 18 chapters, you should develop an attitude, you don't have any lack. That is the happiness quotient. The moment you find, I lack this and I should have done 10 years before, 20 years before, all that, unwanted, impossible things. And even, by doing that, you are only wasting your time, energy, and mental ability and health. To do that, once you not to have the thing lack, this is exactly what Nachiketa has brought about from mantra number 26 onwards. We have gone to the mantra number 28 just for the purpose of just to know only a few words, which are very important in these mantras. 1.1.26, the mantra number there in page number 32 of your document. We have already seen this mantra, but only few words I want to concentrate on. Shrovo bhavaha, shro avo bhavaha, sva abhavaha. In the sense, sva abhavaha yesham, because these are all ephemerals. Anything you think, you lack, that they are not sort of really worth it. You don't lack anything. It is ephemeral. It is only a feeling. It's a mirage. In a desert, when you are seeing a mirage, when there is no water, it shows. It is like that. It is happening because of the conditioning. We are conditioned by the society. We are conditioned by our own, because the interaction with the world, everything happens. That doesn't happen. It's not a lack at all. So abhava, because when he says it is ephemeral, because why? What are you offering? Nachiketa is telling, martasya, yada antaka, because when you say martasya, this mortal world, whatever you are seeing, they are all transitory, ephemeral. You take it for granted. It is not illusory, as because as some people have mentioned, even Advaita doesn't say it is an illusion. It is says temporary reality. It doesn't have a permanent reality. The permanent reality is when you have the feeling that you don't lack anything. You have got everything. I'm blessed with everything. So I'm blessed with everything, and also you should be a source for having someone blessed with so many other things. You don't have to take any effort. By your attitude, your interaction, your vibration will create, that atmosphere. Even the other person will get that ability. Shova abhava matyasi, the mortal world. Yada antakaha yetat. See, antakaha, when he says, he says yama is death. That is one of the meaning. Antakaha is the final knowledge. Antakaha is the beyond that there is no knowledge available. Antakaha, he's got the final extreme, having come to you, having got, because you have got, the PhD postdoc, and because that is the highest you are going to get in university, having come to that. Beyond that, there is nothing, nothing more to be learnt. It is only you have to develop, you have to do the research, Anusandhana. When you do that, when you come to him, you can't be asking for this LKG things, like, I've got, because this, all these Ratis will there, Apsaras will be there, I will have wealth, I will have, because of the long life, 100 years plus and all those things. That's what he is referring to. What is this? Antakaha, I have come to you. And when I come to you, you are still taking me to LKG. See, your postdoc professor says, no, why you come for this studying? You might jolly well be in your place and enjoy, you've got a lot of lands and whatever you can do like that. And it's dissuading you to do that. Dissuasion is basically to know whether you are really interested in doing that. So when you are doing that, once you have come through, it is not only by expressing yourself, you are completing the requirement, you will have to enunciate by your thought, action, as well as the entire personality bringing forth to the table. So therefore, that's why, it happens when a new entrant is being trained in any of the Air Force or anywhere and all, especially in multinationals, first they say he has to be broken in. You will have a lot of phobias. Because why this lack happens? Because we have got a lot of phobias. If you have this, you don't have lack. If I don't have this, I will have, because this will happen. There's nothing will happen if you don't have any of these things today. Still, you will be able to survive, because you will find a way out. Once you have another goal, but if you think, it's to have these things is the only goal, you will be dissipating your energy into these things. So therefore, to have, because when the entire Sanatana Dharma said, be contented, it was being tried to reinterpret. It is making all the people lazy. Be content in the sense, don't do any work and all. It is not the thing at all. It is just not the thing at all. Even the first mantra of the 18th chapter, finally, when he takes you to when Krishna takes you to 18th chapter, first mantra, he says, you have to do your duty. Even sannyasis will have to do the duty. They have got assigned duty. Their duty is not only that, wherever they find the wrong concepts are there, wherever people are suffering, they have to go. Because I explained last week, because in sometime earlier, Vyasa Puja, when we said, Mahaparival went to a place in Rayalaseema, he found, there was drought and people were having a lot of calamities and all. He stayed put and did the Vyasa Puja, so that, finally, that rain came and the place became prosperous and all. It is their duty, because their duty is in this, and they know what they have to do. You don't have to tell them. Because they have got such a noble goal. They don't lack anything. See, when you don't have any lack anything, you only want to give. There is nothing to receive. The gratitude and giving up is the highest receivership in this world. The highest receivership is the God's grace to take you to the highest level. That's what it is. Shavava antakaha. I've come here. You want to go me there. This is what he said. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. See, you say, I will leave everything and this will not decay and all. Eventually they will have to decay. And even if it doesn't decay, I don't buy. Because finally you have to go. Whatever you are having now will have to go. Because how long? If I am in service at 68th year, I will have to retire. I can't think, I'm going to be there and, misbehave with everyone. The day I retire, even a dog will not come and bark me, because you are not worth barking at all. You are nobody. So once you know the ephemeral thing, once you do that, you will be in the highest, because you will be prepared to give your papers anytime, the moment, you feel, it's not the place you are going to be in. That is the strength. That strength nobody has. So many people have done it. Because last week we said how King Edward, because he demitted, he rather gave up, his position to become a king. He gave, because he had a concept. He thought, that is what he has to do it. He didn't want to go for the comforts and all. Maybe he did it for a different reason. So is so many things. Even for instance, the Emperor Napoleon, he has not always tasted the victory, because he has tasted defeat also. But at any point of time, he was still considered to be an emperor and he was treated like an emperor because he has that highest goal. He never thought, because these battles will come and, go and all. War will have to be won. Finally, the war with you will have to be won. So when you are finding the war with you to be one, then only you become Purna Madaha. So when you go full, because you may be, because you are in a position in your vessel may not be same as someone else's, like Mahans, but you will be full. You will not be lacking anything. This is exactly, because all acharyas, even Madhvacharya has said, because he said someone wanted to do what is this Purna Madaha and all, he just took him his own acharya, guru. See, he took his guru there and he showed him, because when the rain was there, he put different vessels, the bigger vessels, smaller vessels, everything was getting full, but everything was not having any problem whatsoever and all. So to that extent, wherever, whatever position you are in, I can't be a millionaire or a billionaire, but whatever I am in, once I feel I am full, I don't have any lack, that is the seed and source of happiness. So to be happy is the final goal of Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, everything and all. If you are not happy, you are doing a great injustice to because that is the biggest treachery to the God. God doesn't want you to be unhappy, but you are still persisting. I will be unhappy because I have got so many lack. That is the biggest sort of, I think, treacherous thing, you can do to the God. He wants you to be, because in Saulabhyam and Saurabhyam, I have explained, in Vishishtatvaita, that concept is there, and this is also in other, this one also. The God wants you to be happy. He wants you to take everything for you. He wants to take the trouble. But how he can take the trouble? As long as you don't make him a partner. Even when you find, something, you are at the crossroad, you don't find any sort of light at the end of the tunnel. You make him a partner. He is also suffering because, look, it's not only I am suffering, you are in me and you are guiding me and you are going. Nishushita Ganapati, when you said Ganapati will also, the Adipati of Gana will also suffer with you. But when you are happy, he will also see that, you are getting the happiness. Even if something has to be, some trouble has to be taken, he will have it taken. If something has to be watered off, for you, by his grace, because you find such a highest elevation and all, some other thing will come just like a dream and go off. The prarabdha karma has to be exhausted by everyone. None of us, because free from that. We will have to, because whatever I have done, I will have to undergo. In fact, I long before I quoted, because in the Chhatarpur Mandir, in Delhi, the person who was built was totally, I think, disabled. I don't know, some of you had the occasion to see and all. I know him. I have seen him. People have taken me, I have taken prasad from him. He was having a lung problem. He was always on to the tube onto his, he couldn't, he was crippled. He is not able to walk. And he is originally a textile merchant from Karnataka. He came to start a textile shop in somewhere in Green Park area. And finally, slowly, because of his spiritual elevation, he came into this. And he slowly sort of convened people. He had a lot of followers. He never asked for money or anything like that. He only that Chhatrapur Mandir, because Katyayani Mandir, which he prepared, it is a sort of a tourist spot. If you go at any point of time, hundreds of tourists are waiting there to get into the temple. He built the one man, single man, crippled. But the people used to pity him, sir, because you are doing so many things, why God has given to you. He said, why are you bothered? It's a prarabdha karma. I am happy, I am able to exhaust that in this earth. This is what he has said. So this is how, that is how, even at that stage, he didn't find any lack. Look, God has, I have done so many things in a way God has not given. It's not a transaction. It is your source to elevate. When you are source to elevate, these things are all, something important. As it has been very often said, in the Bhagavad Gita and other things. If, because if you have a problem will be there. Pain is optional. Suffering is, inevitable. It will happen because of the prarabdha karma. But to have a pain, to suffer is, you are optional. Pain will be inevitable. It will come. For anyone, it will come. For him also, it has come. He has done so many things. Finally, when he left his body, was also he left at that. And he said, "Don't do anything with me. Let me. You take me as it is and put me into a samadhi. That's all. Don't give any halabula. Don't give all those things and all. It is a sort of a inconsequential place. It is there. See, this is how once you elevate, it goes to that stage. And it is very often, why the problem comes, why it has happened to me. As if I am someone special. It can happen to anyone else. It is happening to me also. So therefore, once you do that, that will happen, because that should not come in the way of your elevation. Once you way of getting that you don't lack anything. This is what exactly in this mantra, it has been said. I just want to bring about that, because even today being a Vinayaka Chaturthi and when we are having Nishushita Ganapati, Ganesh, that meaning is that only. Api sarvam jivitam alpameva. Whatever longest time you give, it's all alpam. Why I don't know? Because thousands of years living there and having everything, you long wealth. What is that use? And I don't. Finally, I have come to you the final knowledge. I have come. The only purpose is that you give it up, and I don't want to take anything at all. Taveva, Taveva, Vahastava Nitya Gita, you keep everything with you. This is what mantra number 26 he said, and then we went to mantra number 27. Now, Vittena Tarpaniyam. Tarpaniyam, we explained, what is Tripti, because you will not get satisfied, insatiable. The desires come one after the other in such a stream. It's in the facility and it comes and attacks. It is like the missile, one after the other, coming from some warship, it is coming like that. Now, Vittena Tarpaniyam, even if you become a billionaire, has anyone stopped? Has Elon Musk has stopped? Are there 2 years, who are in this country, have they stopped? They only go on, because they are doing it and all. But, as long as they are doing it, because what makes them to do it? It's not only that they have a passion, they have totally committed to what they are doing. That is that. But in that process, so many things may be happening. Plus, minus, there could be short changing will be there, undercutting will be there. For that also, because that prarabdha karma will be there. They will have to have that, because finally it will catch up with them. It's not that going to be away. That will come. But how it comes, it's not now of our business. For us, we will have to see we don't have any lack. We will have to go through that and all. And one thing should appreciate, when they are passionate, when they are doing it, they are creating the world, they are creating the source for so many things and all. But at the same time, once they don't, go with the climate change and other things. For instance, we put up so many solar plants all over and all. It appears by 2030, we will have to have 20 million tons of waste, solar waste. All the panels, will have lost their entire ability. To dispose of is going to be a problem. See, everything we do, like when plastic came, I don't know, because in 60s, it was considered to be the greatest inventions of the human being. Today, plastic has become a sort of a death knell for us. The Europe, which is supposed to be a green country, most of them, they are suffering. They don't have water, and temperature is going up 40 plus in most of the places. So in India, we seem to be in a better climatic conditions. It's not, ours is a sort of a very well balanced climatic condition, despite a lot of the inadequacies we have. But the Europe is not livable in some of the places. So they say there is no water, the electricity is not there. They were depending on the gas because they are shutting down all the coal plants. Now they will have to put the coal plant once again. Once they operate, again the pollution will come. It is a chicken and egg story. It will continuously go. Finally, they will admit development is not that, what you see actually, what is happening, what we have seen with our eyes. Even when you say a developed economy, you will have to give a lot of minus for that, whatever the climatic change and effect that has come about because of the development, that has to be taken out. That's what, even nowadays the entire GDP concept is going to be changed. Unless, if you are able to live, where is the GDP? If people are going to suffer, and most of the coastal towns are going to be shrinking, whether it is New Jersey, New York, or anywhere, because even in Japan also, the entire size is going to shrinking. In a lot of islands in Indonesia, because in Jakarta is going to be underwater. In fact, they are building a new capital in Borneo. Already they have, because it's not going to be livable any longer. It is like that. So therefore, when you come, because when you indiscriminately use the resources and do it, this is what happens. Because we found some lack, everything new comes, we embracing that prapanchopashamam, we go on doing it. DuPont made a lot of money by inventing plastic. And a lot of, you got, all polymer production was there. In India, is one of the biggest polymer producers. Now, how these polymers are going to be disposed of? You may be using it. Still, we are using it because it is convenient to use. But we have not found a way for that. So likewise, this is how, when you take, whatever you think as a benefit, it's no longer going. 60s, if someone has said like this, he would have been considered to be a fool. What are you telling? Plastic is really going to change the entire life of the world. Today we don't know because no one knows how it is going to be dissipated, or everyone wants to avoid plastic. They want to export all their rubbish to the other countries. They don't want to keep it. Even whatever whatever refuse is there, it's being exported to the underdeveloped countries at a cost. Those countries are going to be affected. This being then within a tarpaniyam, because even the wealth is not going to satisfy you any point of time. It is a continuous. You will be following it. Manushye lapsimavahe vittam atram ashrameva chetva. Because see, once you are here, vittam adrashram, because once I am coming nearer to you, you are the highest knowledge. I don't have to bother about vitta and all, because the facility, wealth and all, whatever needed, I am available to me. I don't want anything more. I don't lack anything. Once I am there, your grace is there to give me whatever I need. Because it's not going to feed me my greed, but whatever I need is available. That once you have that, you will not have any sort of a greed at all. You will not have a feeling of lack at all. As Mahatma Gandhi has said, world has got everything to offer everyone's need, not their greed. Because this is exactly what is happening now. When you find imbalances because of the so-called development, inequality comes, then the entire thing comes. See, it is like that in our own personal also. When we find lack, and we find, because our lack is not only in our own self, but in our relation with so many things. The same person is a father, same person is a son, same person is a husband or wife, and everything is, the same. But each of the relation, you try to find lack in each of the relations. So when you don't have, because that is very important, because you have spread the web like a spider, you've got a web. In all the legs, should have, because of the fulfilled feeling, contentment. You should not have any lack. Because of this relation, I lack this. Because of this relation, I'm okay. Because of this relation, because it is like that. It is like that. Children will not listen to you, because their view is different, their life is different, their challenges are different, their competition is different. So that, I don't have to feel, because why they are not, maybe why I'm not a god. I was in a time, when things were there, I have gone through. My experience need not necessarily be answering all their, sort of problems. My inexperience, can't answer their problems. Their experience, they know it better. So that as far as possible, you should be available when they need. That's all. Nothing more than that. Once you have that in any of the relationship, that is good. If you try to stretch it beyond that, because then try to, because you try to expect something and creating expectation on the other side, it is just not possible. This is exactly, it says, Jivishyami yavat ishyasi tvam vastume varaniya cheva, because it's not going to be, because this is what is obtaining in this world. We are not going to do anything different. Then that is where, he says, Twadrishe deve trishte, once I have seen you, I don't have to think of all these menial things. You are Antaka, your highest knowledge. I have to talk only about that. Likewise, what we have to ask is, whenever you have a feeling of lack, what is that lack? Because I have lived so long, because God has brought me comfortably to this level. Even if you think there is a discomfort, it is a welcome discomfort. If the welcome discomfort is there only, then you will try to find how you can make comfortable with the available things. You will not be going for something not available. That is again a sort of experience God is giving to us. We should Twadrishe Deve Drishte Vityam Anushtange Siddhatman Nate Pritak Pratani. I don't have to ask for separately, all this wealth and all this, the Nitya Gita, all those things. I don't need it, all those things. Because this, I have seen that. This is 7-year-old infant. Almost 10 times lesser in our this one. He has brought it. Basically, he says, I don't have any lack. Why do you have lack? He is asking us. He is asking the entire mankind. See, this is where, I just want to quote, because this is again, Manusmriti. Na jatu kamaha kaman upayobegan shamyati. In the sense, by desires, you will not be able to fulfilling the desire continuously and satisfy it. If you have a desire, you work for fulfilling it. It's not going to be, you have to go for the next desire will come. It's never going to happen. Na jatu kamaha kamanum upayogena shamyati. It is not going to be extinguished. It is only grows. Prapanchopasam. It will go on doing it. Havisha Krishnavatmena Bhuya Evabi Vartate. This is what, because like yajna, when you are putting in the havis, everything it gives, the smoke comes out. The smoke only will keep on coming. It will not be extinguished. So then what to do? If that is the case, this is exactly when finally Narsimha was killed. Narsimha killed the Hiranyakashipu. He was giving advice to Prahlada, asked him to ask whatever vara you want to tell. And Prahlada is asked him one vara, Yati Dhyasasi me kaman. If you want to give me a vara, if you want me, ask me to give one desire of mine, if you want to give, Dhyasasi kaman. Varamstvam Varadarshaba. You can give any vara. Narasimha is a avatar, Brahman himself. You can give any vara, Varadarshan. Yati Dhyasasi me kaman. If you want to, he says, ask me a vara, I will give it to you. Narasimha, when he asked Prahlada, Kamanam Hridaya Ashamroham. See, even in my heart, there should not be anything like a desire should come out. There should not be any desire at all. You give me that vara, I don't have any desire. In the sense, I don't have any lack. I have already got, your presence. Because he has been getting the Brahma Vidya from his womb, because Narada has given it and he has got that thing. Once I have got that, what I want, he didn't want him because because Narasimha wanted to give him whatever boon he wanted. He said, I don't want it. This is exactly, what Manusmriti also says. By desire, you will not be satisfying a desire by fulfilling it. Once you fulfill, another desire will happen. It will go on happening one after the other and all. Therefore, there is no point in having it and all. In the sense, no lack. That means be content with what you are having. Be content with what you are having is not the right solution. That will make you lazy. If you take it as it is, because it is like you should find there is no lack. Continuously do whatever you have to do. You will have to live in this world. You will have to do. Kurvati karmani tat prijaye sajanaha. There is no option but to do the karma. See, that's what, because that we have seen Isavasya Upanishad also, second mantra, just to remind, Isavasyam idhagum sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagate tena taktena bunjita ma krita kasyas vidhanam. It is his world. He is having everything and all. So then you will have to live for 100 years also. You will have to do the duty and leave it, because he is going to give you that. So this is exactly what we have seen in 27 also. Then 27 when we have got. See, this is when we come into desires also, little to know about the desires. Everyone is talking about desire, everyone is having it. What is that, don't have it and all, what is that greatly, it's going to contribute into. So we normally have three type of Ishanas. Ishana, I think Isha, Ana is, since Ana is the finally who gives, Isha is finally, he is the one who is capable of giving, Isha. So, as a human being or any being, we have got three Ishanas: Vitteshana, Putreshana, Lokeshana. Vitteshana is Kanchana. Kanchana is like all the gold, wealth, everything. Putreshana, Kamini, all the the love life and the all relatives, Putra Pautra and everything. You got a big family and other things. And then Lokeshana is, then once you are satisfied with all these things, what you have to be famous. You will be like Elon Musk, or you will be some, the millionaire, the number one millionaire or number 3 millionaire. Every day they change the number depending upon who is favorite. So that, you want to be that, that becomes, or, in your field, you think, I should be like someone like that. You want to be famous. How do you want to, for that, if you have worked, when you will be able to work, when you find there is no lack, when you have a passion. When you have passion, you will be able to work. But without having a passion, but you want to be something like that, I want to be famous like that, it is like the hollow that will create a desire without you really sort of eligible to get that desire at all. You're eligible to get the benefit of the desire at all. So that is not possible. This is exactly, because the Vitteshana, Putreshana, and the Lokeshana are the three things which we can give up. There will not be any feeling of lack in our thinking. So that will take us to it. And then we have come to the last but one mantra, 28th. Ajiryatam amurtanam upetya. See, Ajiryatam. Ajiryatam, he said, you will not become jara marana, you will not get old. You will not get decay. Why you are worried about it? That's what Yama has told him. Ajiryatam, of not decaying, free from decay. Amurtanam, immortals, Devat, free from death, you got an upetya, having reached the company of yours. Why I need all those things? I know decaying by not receiving the teaching, because I don't have to, I will not be decaying, till such time I am here and all. But, finally I want to go to the earth. That is the first one I has wanted. He is going back to the earth. He is going to be on earth. So even if you are there, once your punya and all is over, you will have to come back and face the world. So anyway, it is going to be there, and the senses are going to eat you, everything and all. I am not interested in jara maranatvat. So that's why Sarvantaratman, when we say Ajara Jaraita Mayanam, when we say, because he is Antaratman, when you say you are not able to go into the deepest part who is guiding you and get, I'm not lacking anything, I'm Kurayundru Millai. That is the feeling I should have. Amurtanam Upete Jiyem Matya Kwadastaha Prajanan. Kwadastaha Prajanan, it is a word which is very sort of a tricky word, because it has got two meaning of interpretation, in the entire Upanishad. Kwadastaha, dweller of earth. The dweller of earth, to be without desire is impossible. You will always, which is bigger, but which is like, the dweller of earth, when you are saying, when you are doing earth, what is the earth? Earth is a middle. And below that, what is there? You have got Patala. Atala, Patala, Sutala, because Taratala, so many areas are there. Once you are there, once you are having desire and getting indulgent, you are making a way for going towards the nether regions. Nether regions are below you. Instead of elevating yourself, Om Bu Burvasvaha, Om Buhu Buvaha Swarha, instead of going up. That's what Gayatri we recite every day. What is that? Why do we want to do that? From earth, let my thought get up to a higher dimension, Buvaha and Swaha. And then Janaha, Mahaha, Tapaha, and Satyaloka. Because this is the level, in which the elevation is there. Instead of getting onto the ladder, the higher side, you want to come down. That is not, because you don't expect me to do that. That is what, exactly he tells in no uncertain terms. He says, because this has been said, in Gita, in fact, there is one sloka in chapter 10, because 20th sloka, Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutasa Shishyata. Because I am there, everyone. Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Atman Eva Anupashyate. That we have seen in the Ishavasya Upanishad. In everyone, the primordial power is there. It is giving the energy. It is giving the spark to enable you to do whatever you have to do in this world. And enable you to get yourself elevated every day. So once it is there, I am there, everyone. Aham adischa madhyam na bhutanamatantra yevacha. Because I am in the beginning, I am in the middle, I am in the end. In the sense, I am all through. When you are in the child also, I am there. When you are in the middle age also, I am there. This is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. I am always there, but you have not realized. Because you have not taken the effort to go into your internal journey. That is what you are doing. I said last week, there are three fabulous, the explanations given by Shankara Bhagavatpata, Ramanuja, and Madhva. And we will just see, because what is this explanation they have given to this highest concept. Reaching the presence of, that great, Antakaha is the highest knowledge. Prajanan, Yama. Knowing that, how can you ask for this teeny-weeny gifts? See, in your presence, you are going to be, supposing, you are going to get Padma Vibhushan. You are not going to give, I want an award from Bangalore municipality, something like that. You will not be asking for that. In the presence of president, you will not be asking, you will be getting what you deserve. You have reached that level. It is like asking for something much lower than this. This is what Shankara says. How a decaying mortal, Denison, how would you like to go from the earth? You want to go to Atala, Patala, Sutala, Taratala, or you want to go like that? From here you have to go Om, Buhu, Buvaha, Swaha. You have to go up. This is what you should think of. That is what you are doing Gayatri Japa, everything 3 times a day you are supposed to be doing. Whether you are doing it or not, that's what you are supposed to be doing it. Are you not doing it? Who can delight in long life? By living that, what is going to happen? Whatever life it is. Shankara, he left his body when he was 32. The others have left the body at the appropriate time. They've left the body, because they have got what they wanted. They have attained what they wanted. They work towards that. That is what, he says. Don't bother about the long life and other thing. What the long life is going to give doesn't matter. And Ramanuja says, knowing the pleasures of a Mukta Jiva, once you give up everything and all, the bliss what you are going to get is something phenomenal. How can you be doing? Because in Bhaja Govindam also, I say Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamati. When he says, why are you be after all these things? You just recite the name, finally get it. In Kali Yuga, only Namasparana is the only way you can do it. It is there is a valid evidence in this. The Narada Bhakti Sutra, he says in Kali Yuga, when you say Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, that is the only Mahamantra. In fact, ISKCON, if you go any ISKCON, they will only have 4,000 japas or 5,000 japas and Ekadashi, you get up at 4 o'clock and all that. That is the only thing possible in the Kali Yuga. They have, as it is taken from Narada Bhakti Sutra, and they say this is the only way to know, whatever you do or not. By doing that, what happens is when you are reciting, because the syllable, when you come out of your mouth, or even you are reciting in your mind, the whole feeling of lack goes off. The full willing of, because you have some sort of, the indifferent attitude, you got something, you are not able to, you are not in your sort of, in your element, when it happens. When it does, it takes away everything. It focuses, bring it to you. Slowly you feel you got everything, you nothing. You got the highest Mahamantra, to be through in this entire, the Kali Yuga. That is what is. This is Narada Bhakti Sutra. That's why all the acharyas, they say. Why Shankara has composed so many beautiful stotras and all, because reciting that, you get into that and you don't feel the enemy. You've got everything and all. See, there is no, so finally, because Palashruti says it, by doing that, you will get putra, you will get pautra, and that's all incentive. Because when you don't grow, for a child, you will be getting a chocolate. So if you say, 1 to 10, if you write, you give a chocolate, it is like that. Because Shankara knows what is the state we are in. That is why, he has composed so many sutras. So is, the other acharyas also. They have done that. So once you imperfections, put any faith, you don't have to do anything. And once you know in the Mukta Jivas, they are going to get that bliss. What is that bliss? So that is why, what is that bliss it is very much, in very, exactly in very many words, it is said in a lot of, the Bhaja Govindam, as well as in lot of Tamil literature. Manikya Vasagar has said, Pon Vendin, Purul Vendin, Man Vendin. I think I don't want anything and all, because this have not taken me anywhere and all. Because I am carrying on for several births. Anava Mummalam, he says Mummalam in the sense Yan Yenadu, and then, Ahankara. All the three is there. I have to remove this. Manikya Vasagar says that. So I will have to remove that. And then, because even that very famous song of Tondaredippadi Alvar, Pachai Mamalai Manibol, Pavadavai Kamalachengan, Achudar Amarere, either Kulakulunde, Ichuvai on Vendin, Ichuvai Dan Vendin, Indira Loham Alum, Achuvai Vandinum, as Vendin. Because he doesn't want that. Because he has gone through everything. In fact, he has been, Tondaredipudi Alvar has been put into a lot of trouble, by just, even without his wish, he had to indulge in this world because of circumstances. Despite that, he has said that. So therefore, once you have got that, someone is telling in a platter, when he is giving the highest knowledge, whether you have got the God's grace to take it. This is exactly that's what it says. And Madhvacharya says, having approached the vicinity of the undecaying and where you have to get all those things. Long life, because what is that your long life? Long life, you will only be remembering, because in 25 I did this, in 20 I did this, 30 years I got married, 40 years, my son went here, and all those things. Is it of any worth? Even they don't bother about, what you have done, because you may be croaking, I got my son educated here, because those people, they have gone, they are growing up, and this life is not wasting on all these things. Whereas, you are given an indication every day, even a lizard in your house is croaking, chirping to tell, that the beauty of the highest primordial power is going to help you, he is there. He's called Tadvanam in Kathopanishadam. And similar word is going to be used elsewhere. We will see in this, because there will also be another word which will be used. He is such a great, because once you have got that great knowledge, you have attained to the highest level. Why do you want to bother about it? This is what finally the essence of it. We should never have a feeling of lacking, because the Upanishad knowledge, what you have to give is not the contentment. I don't have any lack. I don't have any lack in the sense I should continuously work. When you do anything as a duty, it doesn't get attached to either the punya or papa, doesn't happen at all. You are doing as a duty. Duty in the sense you are not buying, because karmanyeva adhikarastu mapalesh kadachana, don't expect anything in the sense you don't have to bother about what is going to happen. You will have to do mindfulness at this point of time, very time. What you will have to do, you do it, and never find the feeling of lack in you. Once you take it out and the seed and source of happiness is there, you are going to be happiness personified. Unless you are happy, the God is not going to be happy. He will find, why I have created this creature. I have created him and sent him to be happy. He is just so treacherous to me. He is not happy. That's what he will say. So therefore, let us make God also happy. To make him God happy, let us be happy. The happiness quotient is going to be the highest, with the Vairagya quotient. The last mantra, anyway, I think we'll cover in the next. I think it's again a sort of a mantra with a lot of explanation required. I thought, this week I will just take it, in a smart of at least emphatically we will recite and go for that. Anyway, we'll take it up everything together next week. With this, I will today conclude our session and go for the meditation of Ganapati Suktam, which is a very important Suktam as we have discussed. Sahana avatu, Sahanau bunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahaihi, Tejasvina vatidamastuma vishvidavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So friends,